you sent?
No, it's a I have the link on the post I'm about to share.
Okay.
So don't share that link I sent you because it would invite them into the Hangout, which could potentially be interesting.
Did you make a We're Live Now to go on our Facebook, Dan?
Sure did. It's on. There it's live. It's plugged in. It's turned on.
Talk about some sweet SNL prop.
Yeah, we're live. We're live right now, but we're not officially live.
I will share it as soon as I see it.
Like if four goofballs on the internet start chatting with the open lines of communication and nobody's there to watch, did it really happen? Is it really live?
All right, so let me just share one more.
I have the live chat. I'm gonna eyeball the live chat I popped out here for the YouTubes.
Yes, I also have that up. I'm going to share one more link and then we will start talking.
Yes, and I think I just shared personally and Monkey Boysley.
Ooh, Monkey Boysley.
Monkey Boysley has been shared.
Isn't that where they go to in Star Wars?
That could be one of the things. Or was that like the? Wasn't that the guy?
It's Mos Eisley. Sorry.
Speaking of Star Wars, have you guys seen the Josh Gad, Daisy Ridley videos that he's been making?
Oh, like from the trailers and stuff like that. His trailer.
No. He's done 4 of them now. The last one being just the most beautiful culmination of the third one he did. Josh Gad pulled in Dame Judi Dench to give Daisy Ridley the third degree about the new Star Wars movie.
That's amazing. I haven't seen that one yet.
She comes in and it pans slowly to Judi Dench sitting in the corner of Josh Gad's trailer, and you can tell that she's clearly reading the questions off a cue card because she doesn't know. She doesn't know what a Jedi is. She doesn't. You know what I mean?
No, she does. She was like, wasn't she like an elemental in like the Riddick movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
She was.
But she just read her script.
Yeah, she just read the script.
Yeah.
She knows about the
Wait, Josh Gad is in the Star Wars movies now?
No, he's in the Mystery of the Orient Express with Daisy Ridley and Penelope Cruz.
Josh Gad is what's his name? Olaf and
he's Olaf. Yeah, and he was from Book of Mormon.
Yeah,
and he's playing LeFou in the live-action Beauty and the Beast movie.
But the most recent one, they're like hanging out in Josh's apartment or something, and they pan the celebrities that Josh is hanging out with one by one. They start all have a different question about the new Jedi, like the Last Jedi, and then it finally the last person sitting in the row is J.J. Abrams, who just gives her just busts out this amazing question about her parent. I was just like on the floor laughing. It's incredible. I mean, it's all clearly staged, but it's just
Speaking of J.J. Abrams, the second time we were at SNL, I caught up with Bobby Moynihan again, and I was telling him about our Star Wars thing. He's like, "Oh, follow me." I follow him into another studio, and they're shooting the J.J. Abrams bit from last season when they did the redo of the Star Wars auditions. And he's doing his spot. So I'm like 15 feet away from J.J. Abrams, like,
that's awesome.
That's fantastic.
I know, it's crazy.
All right. Well, we are live. We're tweeted. We're tweeted. We're shared. We've got 7 people watching now.
Ooh, yeah. How do we know who they are?
Well, if you click on the link that you just shared and you mute the audio so you don't hear like a weird 15-second delayed echo, you can see the chat. But we'll essentially regurgitate the chat if any questions come up. So if you're watching now, drop some questions in the chat, and if you have them, and when we get around to asking questions, we'll ask questions. But now we're going to get started. So welcome to Getting Felt Up, a puppetry podcast with Dan and Nate. I'm Dan.
I'm Nate.
And it didn't cut to Nate, but it's okay.
It figures.
And we're joined by 2 of the most handsome Pennsylvania puppet building residents.
You mean the only Pennsylvania puppet building residents?
Yeah, so by default, that makes you guys the handsomest.
Default.
Who have joined us. They were on last year, I think. Yeah, it was a year ago.
We were live in their, but we went to their studio.
Yeah, we went to their studio, hung out with them for a little bit, got to look at secret projects that are now public, like a big, awesome walk-around dinosaur, and it was pretty awesome. And now they're like pseudo internet famous, and it's pretty great to be friends with these cool prop making dudes.
It is. I like the pseudo internet famous because that's not how it feels.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
real internet famous,
look.
but almost. So,
Yeah. Oh, Mark disappeared. I love that juggle of Mark and his phone.
So you guys, when we were there last time at your studio, we talked about it, how you guys had built some props for SNL and they never made it to air. So maybe we can like revisit those two. It was two anecdotes, right? Because it happened twice, didn't it?
Right. The first time we were invited was because we had the little shop puppets that we created.
Oh, right. It was a little shop bit.
Right, and Bobby Moynihan had written a sketch for the Scarlett Johansson episode, and we brought our little shop puppets, puppeteered with them, had a great time doing the sketch, and then
Mark. What's great about Google Hangouts is that the way it's set up is that whenever it hears a noise, whenever it hears a predominant new noise, it switches to the person. So every time Mark fails to, like, Mark, just like get some tape or something. I don't know, man. Do you have the world's slippiest iPhone? Did you eat some Butterfingers and then decide to prop your phone up on something?
I greased my phone every morning.
Nate, I think you might have accidentally muted your microphone. Just heads up.
Oh, that wasn't an accident.
Nate.
Yeah, we can't hear anything Nate is saying. So I don't know what's going on there.
Maybe Mark did it.
Yeah, it's all Mark's fault. Anyway, keep telling your story while Nate figures himself out. So ScarJo, you're going to do some great little shop stuff.
We're going to do the great little shop stuff. It went really well during the
What was the
rehearsal.
bit? What was like the big bit?
We can't really say because they might still use it.
Oh, great. I love that.
Yeah, they always say like, don't talk about this because there's a possibility it'll happen again.
Gotcha.
Like they might like it. They might have liked it enough to bring it back as a possibility.
That's pretty cool. Was it good though? Did it play well?
It did. It seemed like it played well, and yeah, it was just we were told that lots of times when sketches have a lot of technical aspects, they're sometimes the first to get cut. So that could have had something to do with it. Who knows?
Oh,
but it seemed like it played well. But so while we were there, they asked us if we made these puppets, if we make props, if we make this, that, and the other thing. And we said yes. And they said, oh, well, would you guys be interested in us calling you for some prop building? And of course we said yes. They're like, now you have to understand that we call you on a Wednesday night at like 11 p.m. and we usually need this stuff by Friday afternoon. We're like, yeah, tell us. If we can't do it, we will tell you we can't do it. So yeah, that was.
But you never tell them you can't do it. You always do it.
We
just
recently had to deny one request. Nate left. What did you say to him, Mike?
He'll be back.
We had to turn down. They wanted something, a copy of something made in like a couple of hours, basically. And we just didn't have time. It just was a physical impossibility to do, unfortunately. But we wound up modifying something that was there to work in its stead. But it wound up getting cut anyway, so it was all moot in the end.
So Little Shop Puppets, and then what was the second thing that happened?
Then we built a handful of props for the Matthew McConaughey episode.
You can't disclose what it was about, but
right, one prop. One of them we can disclose. One prop got cut before we even delivered it. Like I finished it, and before we even delivered the prop, they're like, "Oh, well, that got cut." The whole sketch got cut, I guess. And then the other prop was a fake turkey, and it was just slightly too big, so they just used a real turkey.
Yeah. So Matthew McConaughey stuck his hand up a fresh, nasty turkey butt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, whose fault is that? That you deliver too large of a turkey? You're like, listen.
It was one of those learning lessons that, like, now we know what kind of questions to ask. Like, if the script that you give us says he was up to his elbow in a turkey, we shouldn't take that for the scale.
Yeah.
We should actually say, hey, if he's up to his elbow, this turkey's going to be pretty big. Is that what you actually want? So now we know to ask that question. We know to read the script and ask the question and just get an answer for any questions we have.
So was this all last season that this happened? Like you just kind of got into the game, the SNL game a year ago?
Pretty much, yeah. It was season 40, and they're in are they in 42 now?
I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
Or no, this might be season 41. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Who can tell? Who can know?
Yeah.
But this year you got
Really?
like off to a really early start. I feel like because you guys were responsible for the piles of folders, right?
The piles of files, yeah.
Piles of files, yeah.
Yeah, we got that call. That was like their first episode in the new year in 2017.
Yeah.
They asked us to make those the stack of papers at a lesser weight, and it's amazing how hard it is to make a lot of paper lightweight.
Yeah, I can imagine.
A lot of paper.
I remember like you guys sharing the photo of it, and I'm like, why did they have to call somebody to just make a bunch of vanilla envelopes and paper? And just from seeing the photos, I'm just like, this is so dumb. Until I then finally watched the clip and then saw the gag at the end where the whole thing was picked up and dropped again. I'm like, okay, I guess that justifies making a call, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And we were happy because it played well, and it was the beginning of us making stuff for this season.
Do you guys get thrown into the credits when that happens?
No, we asked about that a long time ago and then forgot about it.
They run the credits so quickly, and they were like, they only run the credits maybe half the time, it seems. And they're like, we're not going to put you in. It's there's all this blah blah, and we're like, okay, that's cool. We're just happy to get the work. You guys
like have gotten to the point now where the prop that you make, it makes the bit. They have to put you in the credits now. That needs to be the next time they call for the next podium. You'd be like, sure, but it's time for some credits. Call your agent. No, I'm just.
we're getting plenty of publicity off this, even without the credits. Like it's been crazy. It's really surreal.
Yeah,
like it's a prop. Like the writers wrote the sketch. Melissa McCarthy made the sketch great, and we just made this little element in it, and all these people suddenly be like, "Hey, you made the podium. We want to talk to you."
But it's that beautiful button though that's on the whole. It makes the whole damn joke. That it makes the whole. Nate came and went. I don't know what's going on with Nate, but
he comes and goes.
He comes and goes.
Pops up as a little icon at the bottom,
and then you guys did the Chuck E. Cheese guitar, right?
Yeah, we did the pizza guitar, which is funny because that's more like that makes a little more sense. Yeah, you make a pizza guitar, the Monkey Boys. Yeah, you make podiums. But yeah, the pizza guitar was a lot of fun and surprisingly easier than the other things.
Was it playable? Did it play, or was it just totally?
It was tunable, and if we wanted to spend probably another like 2 or 4 hours, I could have made it so that you could plug in. But basically, when I stripped a guitar down to make the pizza on it, I just cut all the wires because it was just easier.
Yeah,
and they didn't need to plug it in. So
where is the times? Where are the piles of files and like the pizza guitar now? Do you guys just like rent the props to them, or do they buy the props from you?
Yeah, they flat out buy everything.
Oh, they flat out buy them for me. I gotcha.
Yeah, and then they go into cold storage.
Yeah, rumor is they have a massive warehouse somewhere in like New Jersey or something. That's
I've heard that. I've heard that it's just like everything you can possibly imagine is just crammed into the place.
Yeah.
It's got to be an incredible wealth. The fact that they're still making calls for props after 40 years of them like accumulating things is kind of incredible because you would imagine they've had to have had a pizza guitar at some point in time, right? So in the past 40 years,
I wonder if saying. Go ahead.
I was wondering if they have some sort of database of all of their custom props or not.
That would be cataloged somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think our pizza guitar is hidden somewhere behind the Ark from Indiana Jones right now.
One day, aliens will need it for its magnetism to pull the coins.
Let's not.
I mean, is it?
Let's just leave that.
I just love. It's just such a. Hopefully the fifth one, maybe it's like that Star Trek thing where like all the even ones are bad and all the odd ones are good. So maybe the fifth one will. I feel like every other Indiana Jones is an apology for the last one he made.
I spent so much time watching Temple of Doom as a kid. Like those scenes with the monkey brains and the insects and the Shahamnivai with the like, that's so ingrained in my brain as Indiana Jones, and it's the worst of the three movies.
That's such a great pull. Is that your favorite one of the three?
The-
We only say the three because there isn't
Yeah.
four. There's only
Right.
three Indiana Jones movies.
It's not my favorite one, but it's the one I've seen the most because it was always on television, I think.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a bummer though, because it's got such an incredible cast. The fourth one, you know what I mean, with Kate Blanchett and John Hurt, R.I.P. And it's just such a bummer because and Shia LaBeouf, crazy as he is, he can still act. I mean, I think everything that boy does is just one big running bit that we're all going to find out about in about 15 years, about all the crazy, craziness.
He's pulling an Andy Kaufman, doing a long con.
I think he's doing a long con Andy Kaufman thing. That's my personal theory. So anyway, so let's get back to your SNL, your masterful SNL props. Now that we've done a little indie rant. So piles of files, pizza guitar. Then the call comes in. What is it mostly made of, the podium?
The dense foam that they sell at like the home improvement stores. You know it.
Yeah, I know it.
The rigid foam.
Yeah. Pink.
That's mostly it.
The
pink or
foam.
blue. Yeah.
Yeah. And is it pool noodles or is it like pipe wrap for around the podium?
L200.
Oh, L200. Gotcha.
Yeah. Pool noodle is too porous. It doesn't look as solid.
Oh,
it's also very difficult to paint.
Yeah. Paint doesn't adhere to it as well.
So you get this. I mean, you get this call, and I mean, I imagine this is one of those calls like came in on Wednesday. They give you at least like a day to build it, right?
Yeah. Generally, it's like Wednesday, 10:30 p.m.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I imagine that had to take a while to build and paint and make look good, and then transport safely.
Yeah, it was a long night. Those 2 weeks were really long. I think I was doing a little other work at the same time, so I was only in like half days, but half days were more like full days. So Mark worked, I think, 46 hours in like 3 days, like that.
Yikes.
That Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which is the same the last week we worked when we did the motorized podium. Both of us did that. Both of us worked like 46 hours in 3 days.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, because SNL is infamous for reaching out at the last minute to say, "Hey, we have this idea. We want this, and we need it by." We need it in 48 hours.
That's the nature of the beast. I mean, we've supposedly they start the week with around 30 sketches that are potential sketches, and by Wednesday they've knocked it down. Usually, it seems like by half, and then as the days progress, they knock it down to maybe 8 or 10 that actually make it to air. So they have to source in case any of those 15 make it to air. They have to set everything up. They build the sets. They get all the props or build the props. They make all the costumes. It's amazing. And all of that, sometimes goes for naught. But by the same token, they boil it down. We've watched, even with Mike and I were just talking about this earlier, even with the sketches that make it to air, you watch their evolution from the first rehearsal that you see on Friday, because they'll rehearse Friday, they'll rehearse several times Saturday, and then it goes to air. And each time it gets, funnier because they knock out the unfunny parts, they refine jokes. It's a really impressive machine to watch in action.
Oh, I can only imagine being there and seeing all the cool stuff that happens. It just must be incredible to watch.
It's nonstop work. Like, even when they're on breaks, people are working. Like, it's And the rare thing, I remember the first time I saw like 5-minute break on the screen, and I'm like, oh, they actually take breaks. Wow, that is the largest jug of something.
It's my iced tea.
Oh,
yeah. I would use glasses, but I'm at the point where I'm like, if I use the glass, I'm gonna have to wash it. So and no one else in the house drinks the iced tea. So I'm like, and I have this weird thing about backwash. So my entire life has been dedicated. It's like one of those tiny OCD things that some people are like, oh, I tie my shoes in just the most specific ways. Well, I think I have perfected the way to drink a beverage to produce zero backwash. So,
oh man, this sounds like a patented process that you.
This is. I could
we should get together with my 2.5-year-old.
Oh, I can't. I cannot. I cannot be. I cannot be one of the fathers who like finishes their kids' drinks. I cannot do it, or shares their drinks with their kids because like, just even if it's in a cup that I can't see through, I know that there is a layer of sediment similar to like how fossils are made in the bottle of every beverage, in the bottom of every beverage that my children use. So no, I'm not. So anyway, more of the story is yes, I use a large. I just drink it. I just drink it straight out of the thing, and it's delicious.
Nice.
Anyway, so what was the total weight of that podium when it was all said and done?
We're thinking somewhere between 12 and 15 pounds.
That's pretty great. Did you get to meet Melissa McCarthy?
We did on the motorized podium.
On the motorized podium. I imagine you had to do some training, right?
I was going to say, you had to have a nice little tutorial.
I can't even imagine getting that call. I mean, when they're like, we want to make the podium move, did you immediately know what to do, or did you like go into panic mode and try
to... Well, when he called, he first said, the writers said Segway, but luckily the props guy was smart enough to be like, I don't think Segway is going to be stable enough. We should probably do something more like a motorized wheelchair. So
they gave you the lead from the get-go.
Yeah, which is probably where we would have gone also. We researched a couple different avenues. We researched motorized wheelchairs and then also the hoverboards, but like a hoverboard with a kick with a like training wheels on it. Because have you seen that some people buy hoverboards and put the chair attachment onto it? Mm-hmm. Which would have, if they were budget conscious, we would have had to go that way. But luckily, we just bought a wheelchair, a brand new one, and stripped it down.
Oh, cool! That's pretty rad.
Yeah,
I love that. Like you kind of like myth-busted it and just like took something that did something else and made it do something completely
or
different.
that other one, that Monster Garage style. Just took it, stripped it down, and created something brand new.
Be careful, because Exhibit might be giving you a call, wanting to start up a whole new series.
Hey, I mean, yeah, I think he was probably my favorite part of that show. No, Exhibit did the Pimp My Ride.
Yeah, Pimp My Ride. Yeah, he did Pimp My Ride. And
Pimp My Podium.
So, Pimp My Podium. There it is.
Do yourself a favor and just go Google the Reddit forums about people who were on that show, Pimp My Ride, and how horrible of an experience it was, because they just took this terrible car and did nothing mechanically to it, but just put all this wonderful stuff into it, which half the time they then stripped back out once the cameras were done rolling, and the other half of the time the speakers and the electronics they put in the car were worth 5 to 10 times what the car was worth. So the companies that like sponsored it would buy the vehicle back, like would buy the vehicle from the kid. So the kid would roll in with this like $2,000 POS and like would leave with 15 grand because the electronics company just wanted all that stuff back at cost because they dropped it. It's incredible. What an incredible bit. So anyway, so we
have a viewer question really quick about the podium.
Oh,
we have fan and past guest of the podcast, Miss Kelsey Brady, asks, she was laughing at Melissa's energy, so she assumes that you had to make the podium to not hurt anyone. So did you test out hitting people initially with the first podium?
We didn't know how she was going to beat people up with it.
So what was it in the script that she was gonna, you had to make it light enough for her to lift it, so was it in the script that she was gonna like charge people with it somehow? Or
we didn't get the script on that one, but what we were told was that she is going to beat people up with this. She is going
That's amazing.
She's going to either push people with it or throw it at people or break it over people's, like it was
you're like it could anything could have happened.
It was kind of anything. And
we're not supposed to get scripts, so we have to ask very specific questions.
Sure.
Like how big should the turkey be?
We head off these problems.
Yeah. like how big should the turkey be?
Yeah, like how deep should the turkey's colon be?
So you I mean, imagine like you build this prop and you want to make sure it's durable. So you did smack each other with it a few times?
Yeah, we were pretty sure that it was not going to break, but also not going to really hurt anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, is it the same podium, or is it did you build a second podium for the following week?
It's a second podium for the following week.
I can't. Here's my secret wish and desire is that moving forward, there's just a Sean Spicer, whatever the hell his name is, bit spicy in every episode, but it requires you guys to build a new podium for each bit. And so by the end of the season, they can do like a running tour, like the Doctor Who experience or the Harry Potter experience, where they just tour the countryside, renting out
all the podiums.
Of all the podiums.
I love that idea.
It could happen, and it was it just a couple years ago in New York. They had the whole SNL experience that you could walk through, look at a lot of the old props, like the Jeopardy podiums, the Turd Ferguson podiums, like that, and just a giant hallway of the White House podiums. That'd be awesome.
That's so crazy to think that our podium is going to be on some sort of like touring Hall of Fame SNL thing.
I mean, it is. I mean, here's the bottom line: is that it's a great bit, but literally, your two podiums have been like that incredible button that yes, this is funny. It's political humor. Yes, there's the moose lambs and the Moana doll and all that kind of stuff. But then she beats the shit out of people with the podium, or then the podium drives around.
She's driving the podium. Yeah, the podium itself became like that surprise character of the sketch, that the surprise cameo character.
Yeah,
and I can
we don't know how or if they can top it.
Well, I can only assume that has to be the writing staff's got to be racking their brain now to say, what can we do next? I mean, I can only imagine that eventually it's going to have to be like a Transformer. It's going to
yes,
she's going to get into it like an Iron Man suit and
Dude, you better be copywriting this right now, Dan. They're going to steal that shit because the Iron Man podium.
Mike came up with that idea last week.
I did. Really? Did you pitch it to him?
Honestly.
Hey, maybe they're watching now.
They're not watching.
We're trying to figure out if there's a way to if there's a gentle way for us to get that idea to the writers, because Mike came up with the idea of maybe we could make a Transformer podium.
Oh man!
So we've been racking our brains.
Listen,
all right,
you boys just need to tweet Bobby, tweet Bobby, and say, listen, just drop him a subtle hint. All right, he should be following you on Twitter now, isn't he? He's got to be.
I don't know. We don't monitor our Twitter as much as our Facebook and Instagram.
Guys, it's 2017. What's going on? You got to be on Twitter. You got to be on Twitter.
I thought Twitter died 3 years ago.
Nope, still doing pretty strong.
I thought it was just a forum for political statements.
Yeah.
Well, you're building political props, so
yeah,
that's true.
Get on that.
But I mean, seriously, I can't. It's now like a piece of the formula because they've done it 2 weeks in a row.
Right. By the second time you saw, it was like they totally they made it formulaic.
It's a piece of the formula. It's got to be her. They've got to play on the gum thing in every bit. Yep. They've got to play on the props.
Did you guys build the gum? You guys didn't build the gum,
did you? No.
I think you can literally buy real gum like that. I think you can buy.
They did a great job.
Well, because that was real gum. Did she start putting that? It looked like it was real.
It was not real gum. They went through a couple iterations, trying different elements, and I think what they wound up using was fondant.
Fondant.
Oh, nice.
So they were able to get it,
because I've seen giant gag pieces of candy like that before that it was real. Like Hershey makes a humongous kiss. They make a huge chocolate bar. They make a huge peanut butter cup. So I was thinking that someone's got to make that big piece of gum. I could have swore it was. That's pretty rad that it's fondant.
Oh, I can only imagine she's just rolling that big piece of fondant in her mouth now. God bless her.
She's amazing. I've said to Mike a couple times, she reminds me of Tom Hanks in that she's one of those actors who can go over the top and really commit to everything. Real.
Not chew the scenery. She can go over the top without chewing the scenery.
And she doesn't break, man. She's incredible. She was going to town. The audience is losing their shit, and she does not crack for a second. She is incredible.
But yeah, I can only. I mean, it's at this point. I would be upset if they did another. Not because I know you guys and I want you guys to keep working, but I would just be upset as an SNL viewer if the next episode doesn't have a podium bit at the end. It just has to be. It's just got to be now. You know what I mean?
I know. It's interesting. I don't know.
The trick is
keep it fresh. I don't know how they're going to keep it fresh and keep doing it. Because so many people do want it.
Yeah. Well, I guess it all depends on what dumb stuff he says each week. So.
And there's also like Melissa McCarthy's availability. You know, she's doing movies all the time. It's not like she can come to New York every weekend.
Yeah, well, the demand's going to be pretty high. I can only imagine. Well, that's absolutely incredible. I'm so tickled that that you guys get to do this week after week. The podium you made for the second one, was it also super light, or did you not care at that point, or did you have to make it light for the wheelchair based?
It was. We didn't want to weigh down the wheelchair, so we built a very similar podium on top of a steel structure that we built. Like, we basically extended the wheelchair. We made a platform out of steel for her to stand on, and then we extended basically where the seat goes in. We extended up and made some handles for her to hold on to where the joystick was attached to.
Right on.
Yeah.
Now, forgive me. You guys might have talked about it when I dropped out here a little early on because my stuff crashed. But when you guys first got the gig to build the podium, did you guys discuss how you went in to design that podium? Did you just look at it and then just kind of go from there, or did you actually do try to find in-depth research about exactly how that podium was built, et cetera, et cetera?
We did a lot of research. We got a lot of photos from them, and of course, we just did a bunch of Google photo research on the podium itself. And then this guy Tim Mertz, whose girlfriend Michelle is our lead employee, lead fabricator. He worked with us on that build, and he took those photos and translated them into scale drawings, so that we could then build the thing
piece by piece.
Now, have you done yourself a favor and recorded it at all?
The build process?
The build process, yeah.
That's the thing. We need to find a more, it's almost like we need to now just pull someone in just to record the process, because don't have time.
I mean, because you guys
we're working so fast and so quickly that we need to.
Considering the one day, I don't know if you guys are fans of Tested.com, but I'm a personally huge fan of it. And Adam Savage and his one day builds, he's doing what you guys are doing. He's doing it to make his own silly props. But I mean, you guys are doing it for realsies, and to record that would just be magnificent to have that process.
I think we might even be able to actually air that kind of a thing, because it seems like we need to, of course, clear things through SNL of what we can show after the fact, clearly. But it seems like they're okay with us showing any progress photos. It's more like the finished pieces on sets that we're not really allowed to.
Well, yeah, I can imagine come Sunday afternoon for you guys to then post some kind of something or other. But I mean, literally for you guys to go buy 2 GoPros, sit them up on each corner of the studio, up high, and just click record.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, and even a time lapse one, maybe just showing you guys just doing it all together. That'd be pretty rad.
Yeah, and we have a GoPro, so I should just do that. I should set it up and just have it time lapse our build.
Yeah, I mean, Adam, they go and they have someone doing that. They have a GoPro set up in 2 spots, but then they have someone there with a camera, literally, shooting it. But I mean, I can only imagine how just magnificent it would be to just watch that process happen. You know what I mean?
It would probably be a pretty big ebb and flow of craziness and lull of nothingness. Craziness.
Well, and then you'd also have to wear clothes the whole time you're doing it too, if you're going to share that.
Yeah.
Which I know Nate would.
Says you.
Nate would have a hard time doing that, because pants are never on for that man. It's just ridiculous.
I can't work with pants.
Hence your towel room.
Everything is soft. Everything is soft and safe in this room.
Nate's currently in the closet, so that's why you see all this stuff hanging around him.
I thought he just got married.
Well, it was strategically placed.
There it is, Mark, with the jokes. Mark's got the jokes.
Jokes.
So
how's Orlando? What's Orlando weather today?
It was really bloody hot today. It was humid in the mid 80s. And I'm enjoying Mark's.
He's showing us the inside of his shirt, I think.
King Kong-esque thing.
I was plugging in my phone so I don't disappear in the middle of this chat.
So just to divert from SNL now, you guys, the dinosaur's finished and done, because we couldn't talk about the dinosaur.
That's right, because it was still it wasn't official when we were there.
Yeah, and you guys have run around with it and stuff. So dinosaurs built. Are you going to build any more of them now? Have you learned any important lessons from building the first dinosaur that you're going to apply to your next dinosaur build?
Yes and yes.
We
Hopefully.
learned
Yes,
that
hopefully.
you can't trust the electric fences to stay intact.
Yes.
We've learned that you can't trust Samuel L. Jackson to find the bug and fix it before all the dinos get loose. All right.
And
Right.
never use
Exactly.
the bathroom.
Never use that.
You can hold on to your butts all you want.
If you haven't done it yet, listeners
Yep.
and watchers, Google it real quick because there's a Jurassic Park desktop simulator. It opens up in your web browser, and it's the Samuel L. Jackson. It's like the screen that as he's trying to like fix the code, and
You're
if
like
you look,
access main program group.
yeah, and if you type in
access
all that
main
stuff,
security.
like then a Newman eventually pops up. He's like,
Yep.
so
That's pretty great.
and it's so deliciously
I like
fake computer screen from the early 90s. What they, you know what I mean?
yep.
Someone was going to ask a question about dinosaurs. What did you learn? What were the lessons you've learned from dinosaur building for number 2?
We need to change some of the proportions and some of the foot attachments. I think we went overkill on the foot attachment, so I'm going to rework that so that it's a little more flexible and lightweight.
Okay.
Something that I'm going to work with. Otherwise,
And
we're
proportions,
really happy with it.
like foot proportions you're talking about, or like just proportions for the whole dino?
I think it was one of the bones. I think either the thigh or the shin bone. We need to make a little shorter, just to make it look a little. It looked a little off to us. Nothing,
No, it looks gorgeous. It's a really cool little dinosaur.
Now,
you guys
when you
built.
guys designed
Thank
it,
you.
is it built for only a specific size puppeteer or person inside to control it? Was there like a certain height range?
Let's put it this way: who of the two of us would be able to puppeteer it? Fat Dan or Skinny Nate?
You could probably both fit in.
Do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Yeah,
more like a
well-
height thing more than a width thing. Like I'm 5'7". Dan, you're what, 6'1",
6'2".
6'2"?
Mark was in it. Mark's 6'2".
Yeah.
Dan, or Nate, you might be a little short. It might.
Don't worry,
the
Nate's
legs
got
might get a
platform
little-
boots though.
Mike,
The legs kind of get bowed out a little.
Oh yeah,
Nate is
I
a
could be
little
like
short.
the
There's no mic
T-Rex
about
out of
it.
the old saloon, walking in all bold.
But I think the lead puppeteer who uses it, he's only like 5'9", right?
yeah, at the most.
And he ended up putting some bricks of like L200, L400 on his shoulders, and that helped.
Oh, right on. He made some L200 shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And I know you
So,
guys had
One of the other
our good buddy James Voital work that dinosaur as well. I think
He did. Yeah,
did.
we didn't have him, but yeah, he did work it.
But like I was just thinking about his height range too. I think he's almost
He's 6 foot. I think he's like me. Yeah, he's similar to my build.
Yeah.
Mark,
But
what
yeah,
were you
I
going
mean,
to say?
we're building it with a 6-footer in mind.
What were you going to say, Mark, about what lessons you learned? I think you were going to say something.
one of the other things we discovered and we retrofitted was kind of like a beam muscles inside. Motion to look very natural. But we realized that it was very susceptible to damage and dumping into the calves of the monster. So we reworked it and made the muscles out of soft foam. It still got a nice look, but down.
Yeah.
It's incredible how quickly and efficiently any performer is able to just destroy the beautiful things you make, isn't it?
Luckily, if we weren't performers, we would probably get frustrated about it. But I've
Sure.
broken so many puppets myself that it's kind of like, well, that's just how it is. They're just getting the best
It's
out
what
of
makes
it.
you guys so good at what you do, and we talked about this the last time we had you guys on when we were in your shop, is that the fact that you guys are such adept performers and years of experience of performing different types of puppets that has informed your design and building process. It makes you guys better builders at what you do and better designers of what works well, because you guys think in that mindset of like what will on side of what it looks like on the outside. You guys really do care about how it works on the inside for the performer.
Right. Yeah. That's, I always like to wear the both hats of the 50-50, performer, puppeteer, fabricator kind of a thing. And I think it
That is
Helps a
not
lot.
50-50. I think that's a 30-33-33. So,
Well, I was putting performer and puppeteer together.
oh, okay. I guess I'll let you pass that on that.
Math is hard.
Thank you,
It
Nate.
was a hyphen. It was a slash, not a comma.
Nate, when I was hanging out with Michael a few weeks ago, he showed me. I'm trying to get these boys into building some Shrek puppets, and Michael showed me the coolest, like a dinosaur, like they built, but like done up like the dragon, like pink with wings and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we stand on this, boys? Are we gonna make one now? I'm pressuring you publicly on a live YouTube stream.
I would love the opportunity to. I just don't know if we could. It's worth the investment. That's always the biggest thing. It's just such an investment to make some of these things.
Right.
guys-
Yeah. I mean, you guys we've talked about this the last time you guys are on, and I don't know if we haven't mentioned it yet right now for anybody that hasn't listened to our last show with you guys, is that you guys have one of the premier go-to sets for the Little Shop of Horrors puppets.
Yeah.
And that in and of itself, what we were talking about was quite the lofty investment. And that's why you guys only have one set that you rent out around the country.
Yeah, it's the. I mean, and it's definitely paid off, and we're really happy that we did it. But yeah, we had to take out a hefty loan for that, and it was, we're not sure. I don't know. Dan seems pretty adamant that Shrek the Musical isn't going anywhere.
It's not. I mean,
I don't think so.
I don't think it is. It's still just as popular now as it was.
It is going to be for the next 10, 15 years. It's going to be one of those musicals that high schools just do. That there's
Well,
therein
lies the issue. Like in the high schools, can they afford a quality
most high schools
caliber?
can.
Most of our rentals are high schools.
Are
Yeah.
they really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that. That's awesome. Okay. Well, so there
They're
you go.
not
I don't know.
Well, no, most are, but I just saying that most high schools can afford. We get a good. That's great, but we can't afford it
Right.
because schools are on real tight budgets.
Yeah, of course.
But we get
You have
lucky.
to start marketing
and,
to those like better schools. That's the problem. You have to start marketing to those richer neighborhoods. Your question there should be, do
poor
any of your
communities.
kids have parents that are doctors? That's what you should be asking. What is your average property tax should be on your form that you send out. No, but it's this. Michael tells me that there's like these like Chinese companies that just make these crazy dinosaur puppets, and that's where he I mean, are they? Do people actually buy them? They don't hold up very well, right?
They don't. No, I know from firsthand use that they do not.
You've actually been inside one.
Yes. I've been yeah. They're not.
Is it made mostly of bamboo and rice paper? That was offensive. Do you know No, bamboo is. Listen, if Jackie Chan taught me anything in Rush Hour, is that bamboo is very strong.
It is. So. It would probably be better if it was bamboo and rice paper. It is steel. It is steel and foam, but the foam is it's like laminated with silicone and gasoline, and it's.
We saw a video of how they make them.
There's a YouTube video of how they make them, and part of the YouTube video is them mixing gallons of gasoline with silicone to then laminate onto the dinosaur.
No way.
Unless they just use the word gasoline and they mean other sort of lean. Like there's lots of xylenes and toluene and gasoline.
No, they don't mix gasoline. No.
They're in this big open space, like just waiting for a match to drop it and place that sky high.
I'll send you the link afterwards.
Oh my goodness! For them, like
video.
Get close enough to a stage light, and the thing's gonna just kill somebody.
Yeah. So and the ones that I've used broke after, like I said, I've broken many puppets, but the reason I'm breaking puppets is because I'm trying to get the best.
For science, you're doing it for science.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the best performance out of them, and the ones that I used broke quicker than they should have.
It's all part of the script.
There's also, was it Chris that was telling us that the foam they use inside there is a like an upholstery foam from China that is not legal to use in furniture making in the U.S. They won't import those.
Is it not legal because
so
it's
flammable?
Oh, it's the flammability of it. Ooh.
Yeah, and so like if you're inside one of those things, they're real tight and tough to get out of, from what I understand. So when those things catches on fire, you're probably gonna get barbecued.
Can only imagine some like really cheapskate carnival like act buys a few of them to have like dinosaur meet and greets, and then some like rough and tough carny who's had like just such a long day. Then he just he pulls out his pack of cigarettes while he's inside the dinosaur talking to the kids. He's like, and he lights up a smoke. The next thing you know, he's dead. The dinosaur's on fire. Half the carnival is burnt down because when it goes off, it's going to be like a fireball. And we all know that those things are so flammable to begin with. Just everything in that carnival is just rubbed in oil and gasoline and just ready to blow.
What carnivals are you going to?
What carnivals haven't you gone to is the real question.
You weren't allowed to ride the rides as a kid, were you?
Everything just rubbed down in oil.
He's like, he's in the sides. He's like, oh yeah, this the cigarette smoke will look great. It'll make like the dinosaurs breathing fire or something. And he's dead. He's just cooked like a marshmallow. I can't believe that they high flammable foam and gasoline skin. What is going on?
I just like the guy inside smoking a cigarette going, I'm going to make this thing breathe fire.
I mean, this is literally like the plot to like 24. Like some evil like terrorist imports like 30 of these, fills a parade with them. And like, I mean, it's just crazy to me that they would build it like that. Yeah. Next, you're going to tell me they use like flammable steel like over in China to build these things. I don't even know if there is such a thing.
Coated in gasoline steel.
It's all sparklers. It's just sparklers.
It's
really big sparklers.
It's braided sparklers.
Yeah.
All the metal that comes out of there is dipped in that liquid that makes it a sparkler. So it's just, what are you going to do? So. Oh, that's incredible. Well, I think your dino's super rad.
Thank you.
And I'm glad it was a success. And I can't wait to see the next one you make.
I'm looking forward to making it.
You had to like ditch. I remember when we were there, you had like all this cool skin, and then I remember you said you had to ditch it and like try a different kind of skin because it wasn't working. Does that happen, or did I make that up?
You maybe made that up. We were able to use most of our skin. There are a few discrepancies in some of the skin, but we realized it just looked like a natural discrepancy. It didn't look.
Oh, I remember you were telling me at when we were hanging out a few weeks ago that you made a whole bunch of something and then had to abandon it all because it didn't work out. But maybe I just made that up. Maybe
you made that up. Maybe
there was a lot of delicious ciders.
When I asked you, maybe it was when I was asking you if you want to be called Daniel or Dan.
This is a running bit now. Every time he sees me, it's like, do you want to be called Daniel or Dan? Well, we've been through this before, but whatever Daniel. You remember. Just don't call me Danny.
Eli. I remember that part.
Lots of people call me Eli, actually. It's a little...
wait, really? Who calls you Eli?
Lots of people. The theater community in my local area, that's how they know me. It's how my wife actually met me. She met me as Eli. That's how she met me. And later then learned that my name was actually Daniel. So, interesting little story.
Well,
does it?
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Is that like a biblical thing that you're like referencing?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I just think of the Book of Eli, where Denzel Washington was the
post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Right?
He's blind in that one, right?
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Thanks.
I'm just personally amazed that Mark lives in the town I used to live in, and I had no idea that was going on. Thinking that he lived down in Philly.
Almost throw a rock at each other right now.
Okay. Well, I live out by Cabela's now, out in the mountains.
Oh yeah.
I moved, but had I known, we would have had like puppet super parties all the parties.
Oh yeah,
super parties, guys. And how's that sound, internet? Does that sound great? Lots of ciders and dumplings.
2 bearded tall guys. Puppet super party.
Puppet super party.
Is anybody who's watching now have any questions?
Any of our fans that can just Photoshop that. The puppet super party.
I can Photoshop that.
You could. I know, but see, you don't need to do it. You have lots of
I made that cool logo behind your head right now.
You did.
There's a logo?
This is a Daniel Becker logo original for nabeagle.com.
It helps people.
Oh, I get it, because it's a beagle.
Yep, helps people know how to pronounce his last name.
It is. It's like a subtle. Yeah. That way when they look at it and they go, oh, they just say it right off. It's a subconscious.
Because most people are calling up. They're like, yes, I'd like to speak to Nate Begel, the voiceover artist. It's like,
yes.
It's like, no. Think more of the canine, less of the carbohydrate. So,
there you go.
Begley.
Yes, Begley.
Bigley.
Bigley.
If anybody who is watching has any questions for the two boys before we sign off, now is the time to ask those questions.
How many do we got watching live right now?
There are about 10 folks watching live.
Come on, 10 folks. Tell them where the chat is on the YouTube page in case they don't know where it is. Or can they do it if they're looking at their phones?
Yeah, of course. If anybody is watching it, the chat's like right in their face. It's like.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like, we got one. Wait, no, it's just a comment.
Okay. Yeah.
From Dustin. Dustin, I don't want to say the last name because it might be offensive.
Guarini.
Somebody asked how SNL got in touch with them, but we kind of covered that in the beginning.
We met them through. We met them through. It was through a friend of a friend kind of a thing. Bobby Moynihan is friends with our friend Rob McClure, who you guys may or may not know. And I did Little Shop with Rob McClure at the Muni in St. Louis. So it's like the people know people kind of a thing.
Yeah, because there's about 7 people who are puppeteers, and that's about it. So the community, you can pretty much fit on one of those charter buses of active employed puppeteers. Just take them around wherever you want to take them around.
But make sure it's one of those like bed buses, like where it's all beds.
Just make sure there's a toilet in it. It's really
nice.
What do you got planned, Nate?
It's comfy, I like the charter buses with the beds.
Have you ever been on one of those like rock and roll tour buses?
No.
We got to go on one a couple times on I think it was either How to Train Your Dragon or Walking with Dinosaurs because we had like a overnight travel. They are really nice. Like
it's like one of those. I actually just heard an interview with Weird Al Yankovic, and then when he goes on tour and is on the bus, he doesn't leave the bus. Like his whole crew will go check into the hotel, and he'll stay on the bus.
Yeah, if you have it set up, there's no reason to leave, especially for his is probably like a 1-bedroom apartment kind of a thing.
Yeah, I'm sure it's awesome.
I mean, the one that we were in slept 12 people.
Yeah, if you are interested in fancy tour buses, go to tested.com, another drop for them, because they did, every time that they did the Mythbusters tour, Adam had a bus and Jamie had a bus, and they
had their own. They each had their own bus.
Yeah, they each had their, but the suite in the back, and then they had their 12 crew guys split between each, 600 each bus, and they did a really great tour of each of the buses, and they're
Why don't we get them? Why don't we become like Tested West or Tested East? I mean,
right? Yeah. You could.
Do they have it Tested East?
Nope, I don't believe it's. I don't believe it. There's.
Get on that, Dan.
I'll try my best. We got James's buddies with them all now because he was in one of their one-day builds.
Yeah.
So, which is pretty great. Which is so mad about that. What the minute it was released, and he was like, "God damn it, James, you met Adam Savage."
You didn't tell me.
Well, he did tell us, but
but after the fact,
not like we could tell anybody. So, but no, that's pretty rad. So, if we've learned anything, they want to know how emotionally attached you get to your projects before you, and then when you let them go, does it make you sad after you put all that time into them?
Releasing your babies into the wild after you've cared for them.
It feels good for me, like to finish something. That whole like finish not perfect thing that you've seen a bunch recently. I don't know. It's nice to be able to finish things. To know that you could have spent more time making it perfect or made it perfect, spend forever making something perfect, but to get something finished is really, it feels good to pass it on and be like, here you go.
Yeah. It's nice. It's nice that you don't have to worry about it anymore.
And see how like gloriously happy the client is to have it once they get it in their hands. They're just like, oh my God, it's beautiful. It's everything.
But you also like, I know with the dinosaur, when you come to it and you see it maybe beat up a little or just, damaged in parts, you're kind of like, oh, what did they do to you? How can I help you? So you do attach a little bit, just
sure,
because it's work you put hours into, and
you guys dropped that dinosaur off, and like you came back 48 hours later and looked like it was hit by a bus. I can imagine, because those performers, they're just so rough on all their puppets.
That's Whitehall.
That Whitehall man, he's like, what can I break? He just gets inside.
We actually posted I think a while ago.
Clip of him inside.
Of him. He videotaped himself. He live selfied himself inside the dinosaur.
Yeah.
Here's the really interesting thing: if James Whitehall can figure out how to set up his phone inside a dinosaur to stay still for at least 3 minutes as he's marching around. Why can't Mark, sitting in his living room, find a way to keep his phone?
Hey, be careful. We've had a good like 10 minutes.
There it is. Oh, right back
I
around.
see.
Oh, look how tickled he is.
I
Look,
see how it is, Dan.
no more super puppet party. It's gone now.
Remember,
way to go,
he
Dan.
is the one that lives closest to you, Dan.
Yeah, I know.
I know where you live, Dan.
That's so you don't really, but kind of in the general area.
At Cabela's.
You can, near Cabela's. Yeah,
I can find out where you live, Dan.
It's just all I'm saying. It's just like he's in a dinosaur. He's marching around. You're just like in your living room. No, just
How did he do that?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Magic.
Yeah, he said. I mean, you know the inside of it better than we do. He wasn't holding it, so
No.
he set that phone up somewhere way better than Mark is doing on his table in a moving. So I don't know.
Look at the comments. Kelsey's making jokes on it too. She said, "I need to build. If I could build a podium, I should be able to make a phone podium."
Podium.
So when can we expect the official "I built that SNL podium" Monkey Boy T-shirts that we can all purchase?
That's a great idea.
Yes, we
Do you
built
like
that podium.
motorized podiums? Who has 2 thumbs and can build podiums?
Yeah. How long is it until I see a commercial during The Price is Right for a podium that can take me up the stairs?
There you go.
That's the real question.
Nice.
Are you tired of lecterns that won't go anywhere?
Oh my goodness, that's great. So I really personally can't wait for them to see what they come up with next in the writer's room. And the next time you're there, you need to pitch hard to somebody about a Transformer podium, but then make sure you can deliver.
Or like the Iron Man suit podium.
Like an Iron
she's
Man
ripping
suit.
off pieces of it and puts it on her.
Well, no, she would just duck down under, and her head would pop up, and her arms would come out, and then she would
there
just.
you go. Yeah, that too.
You know, have you not seen an Iron Man film? Iron Man just take shit from his garage and start ripping it off and sticking them on himself. There's
That's
thought.
what Lego Batman does.
Lego Batman does do that, which is pretty great.
What is the? I hate Iron Man. No, Iron Man sucks.
Iron Man sucks.
And there it is. Perfect. You just made Kelsey Brady very, very happy.
Oh, what a great bit! Just a great running gag.
Oh, I love that Ray Fiennes. I love that Ray Fiennes was in the movie, and then
spoiler. Be careful.
Lego
It's a
Batman.
spoiler. Can I just say spoiler? Spoiler
It's a
alert, and then
spoiler.
say it?
Yeah, now we can because we've kind of prefaced it heavily.
All right,
I know what you're gonna
spoiler
say.
alert. Ray Fiennes is in the movie as Alfred, and then Voldemort is in the movie voiced by Eddie Izzard.
Eddie Izzard, who
Which is
does a pretty wonderful job at
Yeah.
doing the Voldemort thing, I think.
well, it's similar to his James Mason, or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is God
Yeah,
as James Mason?
as James Mason. Yeah.
James Mason.
But that was the first thing I saw that like posted on Reddit and like a discussion about the movie. But the movie's like all parody. It's like parodying so much. So like it's like I'm glad that they didn't use him to do the voice.
Oh yeah. Made it funnier.
The sheer amount of comedy talent for all the villains, because every villain is another amazing stand-up comedian. Like I don't know who was in charge of I don't know what happened there that like all these incredible comedians that were pulled in. Ralph Garman's. Garman's in it, right, Nate?
Yeah. We sent him a little message on the Twitter, guys.
Yeah.
Twitter, which is something you guys should check into, Monkey Boys.
What is this Twitter?
Twitter.
That our buddy.
Big
like,
news,
does-
boys.
does
Now
me
you
on.
can put pictures in your tweets, and it doesn't count towards your 140 characters. So
Oh.
pictures
Well,
and
if we Instagram, doesn't Instagram send it to our
No.
our Instagram goes to our Twitter?
you can, but that's
You
kind of
can,
lame.
but then you just see a link, so people
don't see the
feel like
picture. They don't click
They'll
it.
see the picture right away if you send
Where
it.
can I go? I want to go to one place to get all of my people.
Probably like a Hootsuite. I don't know if Hootsuite's still a thing.
Oh.
Maybe
Is
need a
that like
Hootsuite.
I only want to type it in one. Like I can't be doing all this.
You type it in. You add
copy
the
and paste
picture. You copy and paste it. You do it in Twitter because that's the smallest amount of characters. Then you just paste in Facebook, paste in Instagram, share the picture, share the picture.
Take forever.
Coming from somebody who has like 4 websites and 2 podcasts, this is something that you can do. I assure you.
Maybe we'll just hire you to do it.
I have no time. Don't. It's
Maybe they
not
can
like
just
you-
hire.
It's not like you can rely on Mark to do it because Mark can't even keep his phone standing upright.
Mark, are you sitting on the floor in front of your couch?
His couch is very tall.
Fantastic.
I'm standing next to my couch.
You're you have like the big. You have like the big Lily Tomlin couch, or which.
What would just be the greatest payoff for this whole episode is if he got on his couch and then it just slowly rolled to the left.
Guys, his house is always set up for
drove
puppetry.
away. That'd be perfect.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm so glad that now you boys can add to your resume that you can take anything and put it on wheels and make it move.
Anything.
So
Anything.
if you did it to a podium, I can't see why you can't do it to anything else. Next thing,
Anything.
And or make anything to use as a weapon that won't physically actually harm somebody, but
Yeah.
something
sure.
that can surprisingly pick up and use.
if I don't see an Audrey 3 on wheels by the end of next year, I'm going to be super disappointed.
Audrey 3.
Yeah, right?
Pod 2 number 3. You mean Audrey 2 number 3?
Well, yeah, like
He means
Audrey 2 number 3.
From the remake that's coming out.
Yeah. from Little Shop of Horrors 2.
Little Shop of Horrors 2. Audrey
Little
3.
Shop of Warriors. But yeah, you know what I meant by Audrey 3.
Oh yeah.
That's what we called them. We called each one Audrey 1, 2, 3, and 4. So
Right. Yeah. But they don't. The public doesn't always know that.
well, the public. Come
Not
on,
that we
just-
haven't confused them at all in this.
Well, this is perfect. What a wonderful little interview. Thanks so much for your time, boys.
Yeah, of course, anytime.
Our pleasure.
It's always a pleasure
Monkey
to chat
boys.
with you boys.
Well,
Oh, can you
we'll
tell me
try
about that big rotund beast that you made that I'm so incredibly confused
Oh
by?
yeah. We shared pictures of. I guess I don't know what her name was. It was like
I don't
she wasn't
know
a bear.
what it is. Is it a bear or
Raleigh?
is it like a walrus?
No, she was a big Raleigh. I guess is that her name?
Raleigh.
Raleigh?
Yeah, what was Raleigh for? And we'll reshare the picture. There's just that great, and it's a hilarious video. I guess it was Mark can't keep his shit together with filming Michael in there, like wiggling her arms, and Mark's holding the phone videotaping you, and like super tickled.
That was the Grumble Plum.
Oh, Grumble
That was
Plum.
from Pip's Island.
That was from Pip's
We
Island. Yeah.
We built some puppets for basically an immersive show for kids in New York City that ran this past winter. And Grumble Plum was this big kind of somewhere between a Yeti and a Chewbacca, like a Wookiee woman. And yeah, Mike got in there, just started like doing the hand jive and stuff with these giant furry hands. And
How were those
couldn't help
designed?
but
Were they just how were they controlled?
There was it was like a steel skeleton supporting the whole puppet pretty much that you kind of sat on a seat within, and then you put your hands into the elbows of the character, and in that elbow there was like a toggle that made the wrists do this.
Gotcha.
So that you could also do this and this all from the toggle that you had on the inside.
That was awesome. No, she would be stationary. You would sit down in her, and so
Right,
could you?
yeah.
You couldn't move around with her.
No, but in hindsight, we want to, if the show continues or they do another one, we want to make another one that is like a walk around version.
Right on. Who's Raleigh then? Who you were just talking about?
Raleigh was another like hairy creature that was made originally for a music video.
Oh, I think and he was hanging up in your shop
Yeah.
from on our last episode. I think
Yep.
I think we have pictures of that on Facebook, but we'll find that as well.
Yeah, we probably would have taken a video clip to share with you guys, but like they're working on secret dinosaur stuff. There's always secret stuff
dinosaurs.
going on in the Monkey Boy shop, so you never know.
Secret
Secret
dinosaurs.
super puppet stuff and prop stuff now.
Prop stuff, puppet stuff.
And actually, to take it back
Keep
to
turning it off.
we'll make a last Indiana Jones reference, since we were talking about this beforehand, because to our understanding, SNL, all of the props and puppets and things and stuff that they keep. And apparently
We've already made this joke, Nate. We've already made this joke. Welcome to the podcast. I don't know what you were doing for about 20 minutes when we made all these great Indiana Jones jokes. But
I was fixing my
Mark
thing.
already came and laid that sweet ass joke down, and now you're rehashing.
Should have known. Nope. Then I'm done.
That's a nice big green cup.
What's that?
It
I'm the
is
only one that doesn't have beverage.
quite nice. Big green Kermit cup for coffee.
Wait, who has the big green cup? Oh, Nate has a big green cup. I was so confused. I'm looking around. Hey, I have that cup too. I'm like, who has a big green cup? Oh, and since last time you guys were on, congratulations on winning the Star Wars big award thing that you forget that you won all the time. What a prestigious thing that you guys have. That was sweet ass trophy.
Pretty awesome.
And you forget that you guys
I don't know if I need an Oscar anymore, honestly.
We took fun pictures with us four and the Ben at the Desert puppets.
Yeah, Yoda was going to town on Dan's beard.
That's right. Soup.
So you guys won the best animated bit, right?
We won best comedy.
Best comedy bit, yeah. So what a great little short. Just get a beautiful golden. Is it like just like vacuum-chromed, like plastic?
Yeah, I think so. That's what it seems like. Yeah,
it's not like a solid metal stormtrooper that you could like.
No, that would have been doubly amazing.
Yeah, it would have been. So if like an intruder comes in, the last thing you want to reach for is the golden stormtrooper to like knock him out.
Right. Yeah, we have other more.
It would not be like a weapon in Clue, is what I'm getting at. It's very
no, not in our shop. No, our shop would be like you'd get to choose from. I don't know, the sewing machine.
I like this question. It's like, what if you had to kill someone in your shop? What would you
the coat hanger?
Use?
If there was a Monkey Boy Clue version, what would the 8 weapons be?
The Persona blade.
The truck lift out front.
The truck lift. They're supposed to be like somewhat pocketable, right?
Oh, the weapons? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, like
you got to be able to move them to different rooms because then.
Truth.
Sure, but I mean, there could just always be like one catch-all, like someone just killed someone out front with a truck lift. That could just be one of the answers.
It moves so slow.
Yeah, so Yeah. But so there you go, folks. There's the Monkey Boys. These lovely gents who make wonderful. I can't wait to see what comes next. I know a large amount of people who settled in on Saturday night. This past Saturday night, ready for another bit, ready for a whole nother episode.
I just saw who posted that. What's his name? I don't know. I just saw another puppeteer that posted that. It was like, I was all settled in, ready to watch SNL, and it was a rerun.
Yeah, I know.
It's
like
a rerun this week as well. Don't do it this week. Yeah, it's another rerun.
Oh, okay. Well, it's only Monday, so it's not like you would have gotten the call yet to be like. But yeah, no, it's another rerun. So I like how I had to look at my watch. We're doing live episodes every Monday, and I had to check it to see what day of the week it was.
Who's up next week? Do you guys know yet?
No. It's always a fun.
It's magic.
Yeah, it's still we're still working on stuff. We have a couple potential prospects, but
listen, I'm just happy that I've nailed Nate down to like be every Monday night. So because Nate's a mysterious enigma now that he's down wiggling dolls in Florida.
You're never wiggling on a Monday night, or is the park closed already?
Yeah, no, not the Monday evenings are pretty free. Yeah. My wiggling tends to usually end around 6 o'clock, but then I come into my closet and talk into a microphone for many hours in the evenings. But Monday nights we're gonna keep open solely for this.
Nice.
Cool. So there you go. So there you go, folks. There was another episode of Getting Felt Up, a Puppetry podcast with Dan and Nate. I wonder if the boys remember how the podcast ends. They probably don't, because no one ever listens to the end of the episodes. As soon as they hear us, but you should, because there's always about 20 minutes of convo after the ending of the episode. Yeah,
exactly. There's always a nice little postscript.
I believe it happened. I believe the worst offenders were you guys actually during your episode. Yeah, because he ended the podcast and then proceeded to talk for another half an hour. So,
yeah, I think that's accurate. But we had such good food. We had such delicious dumplings on the table.
Oh yeah, those sweet buns
and those sweet buns.
Oh well, listen. Next time you have to listen. Here, I'll make an offer. The next time you have to do some kind of crazy cool build, I'll come down there and videotape you guys for the day. And,
all right, we'll feed you dumplings.
Yeah, and I'll just take all those delicious pork buns and just fill my tummy.
Wow.
Quick story before we end. I had...
what happens?
Quick story before we finish. I heard someone else laugh in the background. That wasn't... Is somebody else listening?
Nope.
Maybe No. Maybe I just heard a woman laugh in the background, and I'm just making stuff up. No, but while Nate and I were in Singapore, we were on a mission to get delicious dumplings. Like we had a few. They weren't super great. And the experience we ultimately had wasn't great either. So we really didn't have any magnificent ones, but we asked around a lot. And like a few people said, go to this one place.
It became a night-long mission for us to find the best dumplings in Singapore.
Let me preface this by saying that I have no memory of this. I'm only now retelling other people telling me what happened, particularly Kaylee Jenkins and Nate. So eventually we were told about this place, and it's in like Little India of Singapore, because Singapore is like a giant New York. It's like every nationality and country you can think of, it's there. It's like a melding pot of just like every possible language you can think of, and creed and race. So anyway, so we go to Little India and find this little dumpling place. Nobody speaks English in this place. Like
it's also empty. I think
empty.
There was not a single person in there.
They're closing in like 45 minutes, and apparently I like bust open the door and I walk in, and I apparently shout this. I say, "I hear you have the most delicious dumplings in all the land."
That's 100% accurate.
And they all just
like with the sweeping arm movements and everything.
So
I thought
Dan,
Kaylee Jenkins was going to
Dan, I have a question then. What does Singapore chef testicle taste like?
Well, they didn't know what I said. It was a real challenge just getting our order in, let alone paying for the bill, all that kind of stuff. And then like some of the I had a great time. I enjoyed myself.
You were having a great time before you got there.
Yeah, most of our castmates did not enjoy themselves at all, but I had a great time.
Blatant racism, maybe?
No. It was just that it was super late. It was super far away. It was a little scary, the neighborhood we were in. And it literally took like 4 hours just to get like a handful of dumplings because no one spoke English. It was really bad. And the whole country, like English is
English is the main language in Singapore.
English is the main language.
Really?
There. Yeah. So, but anyway, so there you go. Now we're gonna end the episode.
Back to dumplings.
So seriously though, next
moral
time
of the story is Dan loves dumplings, and so send him.
There we go.
Give me a call. I'll be your Norman Chan or your Will Smith for the day, and I'll come down there and I'll videotape you guys building cool stuff.
Yeah. Well,
but there you go. There is Getting Felt Up, a Puppetry podcast with Dan and Nate. I'm Dan.
I'm Nate.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Mark.
And we'll feel you up next time. We all sound like a group of teenagers singing "Happy Birthday." Nobody wants to do it. No one's committed.
Yeah, it was like, no, I don't know if I want to do this.
Didn't we talk about "And You've Just Been Felt Up"? Was it that at one point?
No, it wasn't that.
No,
I don't think so. It's always been, and we'll feel you up next time. But you guys didn't remember, and I think maybe that was what the last time.
Right, but I think we also discussed like possible alternate endings.
We're always open to whatever anyone wants to say.
Enjoy your burrito.
Enjoy your burritos. The Nerdist got that for 7 years running. We can't take that one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what Pete Holmes one is.
Enjoy your dumplings.
Enjoy your enchilada.
That's Deadpool's, isn't it? Oh no, he's Chimichangas.
Chimichangas. Those, by the way, those are delicious. Now I'm really
You're on board with some chimichangas.
I'm really hungry. It's 9:30 in Hamburg, Pennsylvania. I don't know where I'm getting a chimichanga, but I'm gonna have to go get one now.
You have to. I might go get a frozen one at Walmart.
Does Taco Bell have chimichangas?
I don't know.
I'm not positive what a chimichanga is versus an enchilada.
I think it's like a fried enchilada, right? It's like a fried.
That's what I was thinking. Fried burrito.
Yeah, it's like a fried thing.
You know what Taco Bell does now have? They have like a chalupa, a chicken chalupa that
deep fried burrito.
That's wrapped with chicken. Like the chicken is the wrap.
Yes, I saw that. What did they call it? The naked chicken chalupa or something like that?
Naked chicken. Yeah, it's the naked chicken, but it's breaded chicken, no? So it's not really naked.
Chimichanga is a deep fried burrito that's popular in Tex-Mex, southwestern U.S. cuisine.
Well, I love everything about it, and I've never had one, so...
Give me a burrito and deep fry it, and I'll eat it. Sounds good.
And this takes us all back to the county fairs. The deep frying booth, the Oreos, that'd be the first thing to blow up when all the flammable dinosaurs start going. God forbid they're near like a deep fried peanut butter and jelly stand.
All the
done.
combusted the dragons and dinosaurs just like poof 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 poof.
That's like an episode of X-Files, like spontaneously combusting dragons at a circus.
All over the world, and Jack Bauer has to stop the clock.
Hey, I'm gonna make my dragon here look like I am.
Yeah, all over the world, all the guys in the dragons talk like this. We gotta make this dragon breathe fire. I can't believe these guys didn't make it breathe fire to begin with.
Clearly, this is my Connie thing. I can juggle, and I can make my dinosaur look like it's breathing fires.
That's right. I can't wait to get some dumplings while I'm here in Singapore after this.
Yeah. All right, we're good.
Before we go, that 360 photo of Mike Schupak and Ariel, the one where I'm grabbing Paul McGinnis's butt, is amazing.
That's a good. I don't know if Dan. I don't think you've posted that on the show's podcast, but you probably should now that we're talking about it.
I should. I have to look because they literally took like 20 pictures back to back. So I have to. I need to go through all 20 of them
they
and
were
see.
taking it, Dan. You weren't aware you had it just set up.
I was the one controlling the camera. They were the one doing weird stuff around the camera. But I have to look and see if there's any better views of the butt grabbing.
So yeah,
that was like the exact moment. It wasn't. I mean, it might have been a little longer than that, but that was the full-on squeeze. And I did not see it. I love that Mark found it.
That's so great. I didn't notice it either.
Nice little behind the scenes, literally behind.
That's how much I love Paul McGinnis.
There's some great. You and your wife took a couple great 360 photos. I have to share.
I'll have to share them. So it was this those listeners. It was past guest and friend of the podcast, Michael Schupak of the Puppet Kitchen, had a birthday party.
No, it wasn't Michael Schupak. No. It was for Haley Jenkins.
No, it was Haley Jenkins' birthday party. I'm sorry.
Haley Jenkins is old and crusty now, as 30 years old. So, sorry, I just have to make fun of Haley for being 30 whenever the opportunity comes up. Because 30 is so old. What's that?
You're over 30, right?
He's not.
No, I'm 29.
Oh my God.
So
I think
just
I'm
wait,
either
guys. See, when
29
he
or
turns
28.
30, we're gonna make it. We're gonna never let him live it down.
By all means, tell me how crusty and old I am. I have I'm starting to get a little. I have like 3 gray hairs in my bangs, and I'm super stoked.
Maybe you'll keep that hair until you're 30.
Lord willing, no, I'm gonna have hair until I'm buried in the coffin. My hair might continue to grow after I'm dead. That's how good my hair.
Wait, doesn't that happen with everybody?
I believe so. So I mean, it was a little bit of science there for you, science lesson.
Science.
This is where so is there any because we're gonna sign off now, but
we're gonna sign off.
Are we gonna do is there gonna any more? Does anyone else have any of those door handle doctor questions as the doctor's leaving you but wait, this burns?
Nope.
Any of that kind of stuff? Are we all done?
Wait, it hurts when I do this. There was a, and then it got retracted, but there was a question on the YouTube's. The message was retracted, but I saw it briefly. He was a puppet builder that was attempting to do a full body build for the first time. Are there any warnings of pitfalls that he might want to try to avoid when building a full walk around body costume for the first time?
Make sure it fits.
Find a way to get in and out of it easily.
There you go. Start from the inside. Work your. Would you say that's a good? Would you say for doing full body work, walk-arounds and stuff like that? Would you tend to work from the inside out, how it works on the inside, and then how to get in and out, and then the overall construction process from that point forward?
Yeah, make a skeleton that is comfortable for you to wear, and then dress that skeleton. Pretty much. I mean, that's kind of the easiest way to answer that question, I would think. Nice. There you go. Yeah.
Perfect.
Dress the skeleton.
All right, now we're going to turn this whole thing off now. So it's been an absolute pleasure. Has been an absolute pleasure. But this is what we're talking about. Episode ends, and then it goes on for another 10 minutes.
Hang in there, guys. You never know. You never know what we'll talk about after that.
Mark's done. Let him go.
Yeah,
Mark's floating
Mark's
away.
doing mime. Oh, he's entered the mime phase. Oh, and he's signing. Literally signing.
Mark, do you know sign language? No. Okay. All right.
And I hope everybody enjoyed Michael's animated title screen on his chest there. It was following him around.
It was too
That's
annoying.
actually his bling. That's actually it on him, literally.
Oh, that's his bling with his invisible chain. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
That's his rap name, Invisible Chain.
Oh wait, now I got a mustache.
Oh, and a
Tiny
little,
witch's mole.
very
little
pointy
birthmark.
boogers.
All right. Well, there you go.
Digital
Thanks, guys.
puppetry, folks. Oh,
Thanks for hanging out, boys, and thanks
Yep.
for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.
goodbye.